Hey guys, can everybody hear me now? Oh, technical difficulties as usual. And I'm hoping I've tried to start this stream 3 times. This is the third time now. Hopefully it is working now. Just let me know if you can hear me. Let me go down to the bottom of comments. Just let me know if you can hear me now. I should be unmuted. Let me make sure I've got my good. So y'all can okay, Arctic says we got sound. Okay. Thank you. I'm having all sorts of problems. This whole day has been a dumpster fire from the very beginning. So, needless to say, you're just going to get my voice tonight. I have a talk. Enough of my problems. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope if I my farm is very even more sketchy than usual. I'm going to try to get StreamYard to come back up on my computer. I'm not going to guarantee anything. And I'll get to get everybody welcomed in. I appreciate everybody for being patient. Get things going here. Well, I'm waiting to see if my StreamYard will come up on my my computer. I can't even see what I've got to here. Thank you for being here, T. Appreciate you always. Miss Barbara Hall is here. Always good to have Miss Barb. Two says she will be on replay. Excellent. Thank you so much. Chris Gideon is here. I know it's taking a minute for the comments to pop up. Let me see if I can get into welcome, Chris. Sherry, she sent the notification. Hopefully she got it. And I'm sorry I pushed back. I was going to start originally at 8, but with a long work day, I had to stop for do some family shopping and shopping for myself. I was a little later getting home than I anticipated. So, at any rate, that is where we're at. So, like I said, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going to do it off my phone because my welcome, Truth and Justice channel is here. Welcome. Yes, I hope everybody is still here. Once again, I apologize. Mr. James Tate is here. Welcome. Miss Paula is here. Welcome. Mr. Steve is here, or he was here. I think he said he was popping in. He's fixing to go out on the road or is out on the road. So, as always, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes and safe travels for Mr. Steve out on the road doing the good work. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Junior says upcoming, my grandpa would say, decent people are in bed at that time of night. I'm sorry, Junior. I'm sorry. Thank you, Chris. Chris says it's going to be a very good live stream because we have people from Virginia. Yes, and I have, I think, 11, 12 cases that I'm going to share tonight. So I'll try to get through them quickly and efficiently. But yeah, I just, Virginia seems like, I mean, because I try to pick cases that have a lot or a good amount of information in them to give, because some of them have just basic information. So I save those and either do flyers or do what I call my missing person compilations to put together. So I try to find ones that have a lot of information and suspects and or persons. Usually with the a lot of the states, I have to scroll on Charley Project, scroll until I find some with lots of information. but it's, I mean, I could have done a whole, I mean, a 24/7 live stream on just people from missing people from Virginia with so much information, so many red flags. But like I said, I think I picked 11 or 12. But I do suggest go to the Charley Project and just scroll through all their missing persons. Charley Project is a very good source of information. Mr. Steve said, just stop by for a moment, heading out on the road. Oh, tomorrow early. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Steve. If you happen to be listening or still here, thank you, Mr. Steve. Once again, safe travels to you. Oh, that sounds good. Paula says that she is, it'll come up, grabbing a bowl of Cheerios. We'll be back. Cheerios sounds good. Yeah, I had just enough time to get home or my actual work, delivering groceries, and then clock out for that, and shop for my brother, shop for ourselves, take my brother his stuff, come home, grab a bite to background. Runners are playing, so anyway, so hence the no camera tonight. So I apologize for that, but as long as my voice comes through and the information comes through, that is all that counts. Excellent. Miss John said, he and Miss Mary went through Virginia, beautiful country. Yes. I'm trying to think if I've been through Virginia on any of my trips. I think I have passed through. Thank you, Miss Marion says, safe travels, True Crime Web. Absolutely. Mr. Lance Jones. Why is it not coming up? From Canada is here. Welcome, Lance. Always glad to have Lance here. Yes, everybody's telling Mr. Steve to have a good, safe trip. Absolutely. Just trying to get everybody welcomed in. I know I saw some others. Already said he was something about full carpal tunnel. Truth and Justice. I can't remember if I've welcomed them in, but welcome again if I've welcomed you already. I'm sorry. I'm still frazzled. Hey, FarQ from Australia. Good to have you here, ma'am. Absolutely. Good to have everybody here. For anybody that is new here, I usually, now it doesn't always run the smoothest, you know, but it's usually a little bit more smooth and on time than this. So Michigan Wifey is here. Welcome, welcome. One of my OGs, my original gals. John Hanson, the music is here. And I shared it on my community tab, John Paul Hanson, into it on this particular live stream, but wonderful post about drama on YouTube. So I shared it on my community post, so please John Paul Hanson channel and check it out. He has some very good things to say, or he put it very eloquently, should I say, talking about the drama that's on some of the YouTube streets. Oh, Grandma Sherry made it back. Thank you, Miss Marion. Miss Marion said she's for the Amber Alert. Thank you, thank you. Let's make sure I'm getting everybody, and then we will get started. Okay, that was down to no sound. Now the sound is back. Okay, I think I'm getting down to, now I know I saw Miss PJ somewhere. No, Paula, you haven't missed anything yet. I was having technical difficulties as usual. Hopefully everything is kosher now. There's Miss PJ. Good to have you here, Miss PJ. please check out Miss PJ's channel, Lighting Their Way Home. Please check out Arctic True Fox channel. Anybody just throw any links in? I know Arctic has a wrench. Brian is here. Welcome. I can play tomorrow, but this one's excellent for checking in. Absolutely. We would love a replay crew. Absolutely. Just getting, I think I'm almost there. Trying to see, trying to get caught up on the phone. So I finally got StreamYard to come up on my computer. No, it wasn't you, Miss PJ. It was my technical difficulties when y'all couldn't hear me earlier. No, you're not deaf, Miss PJ. All right, everybody says you can hear. Mom is here. Sunshine Monsters, welcome. Good to have you here. Please, once again, check out Mind of Monsters. Wonderful person, wonderful human being, one of my favorite people on earth. Does excellent work, excellent advocate, works with families. Please do check out Mind of Monsters. And I think, hold on. I'm pushing buttons. Watch out, guys. Get the marshmallows ready. Oh, yeah. Mom has a wrench. She can put in the links. I'll also give Miss PJ a wrench. Let me see. I'm afraid to try to get a. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. See if I can get a. 1 second, guys. I promised Miss PJ the other night in Dave's live stream that I was going to give her a wrench on my channel if I can get if I can get the YouTube to come up on my computer, because I have to do it through the YouTube side. And I promise we will get started. Yeah, yes, that's what happened. Artist said the farm signal died in the dumpster fire. Yes, that is exactly what happened. Like I said, this whole day has been a dumpster fire. First, my cats woke me up at the butt crack of dawn today, and then I had to drive about an hour, spend about an hour and a half going to some bigger Wally Worlds around here, trying to find their cat food that they like, because they're picky little suckers, and they were only one kind of dry cat food that you can hardly find. Finally found it. And then I had to pick up some other stuff, and then I finally made it back to the town that I work out of, delivering groceries. So it's been a long day, but it was productive. So yes, has there been any? Miss PJ was asking Mom, did you see the news? Put everyone in check about Elijah. Yeah, they found remains. Have not, as far as I know, have not been identified obviously yet. They said it would take some time, but I did see that they had found remains that maybe could be little Elijah. Just making sure I got everybody. Nope, they still have not caught that psycho yet. Just want to make sure I got everybody. Just let me know if you can still hear me. I'm backed up in comments here. I'm about 10 minutes behind. I hope you can still hear. Okay, Lance said it was just him. Did I miss somebody? Oh, Miss Doris. Welcome, Miss Doris. Good to have you here. Sorry, I'm just trying to get comments, and I'm gonna give Miss PJ a wrench. If I can get things to come up. Which one are you talking about? You talking about the Kentucky guy or the Georgia guy? Arctic says he has a plethora of cold case files to go through if he has time to do a live. Yes, and if all goes as planned, unless Arctic has something or I have something that comes up, hopefully Wednesday night, at a decent hour, around 8 o'clock Central, Arctic is going to come over here and join me. We're going to talk about the Melissa Witt case. There's a new documentary on Hulu that came out not too long ago. For anybody that has Hulu, you can find it somewhere else too, illegally. But I watched, I think it's 4 parts, and each part is just under an hour, so I binge watched it in about 4 hours. Arctic said he has watched it. It's also very close to Arctic. And I did not know until he mentioned it in chat the other night, or I may have forgotten, that he actually helped after Melissa went missing, before they found her, ended up finding her deceased, that he helped search for her. So I just wanted to have him on to talk about Melissa's case, because it still needs awareness. It's been over, 30 years now, has not been solved. And with some new information coming out, and so I just thought it would be neat to have Arctic on here to discuss Melissa's case. Right now, I forgot what I was doing. I'm busy talking and can't multitask tonight. I promise, guys, we're going to get started soon. I promise. I promise. All right. Miss Paula says she has a cousin who lives in Virginia. Miss PJ says the Knickknack Virginia cases have a lot, but with no pictures. Yeah, all the information I use, or basic information, and I think all I had just basic information. I think I had maybe 2 articles, but with the Charley Information Project, it had so many or so much good information. I really didn't have to look for a lot of supplemental information. Welcome. There it is. Oh, well, I keep. Welcome, Nick Hamilton. Did that come up? I can't see which one's up. Welcome, Nick. Good to have you here. Absolutely. Miss Marion says thank you all for being here and giving us all support and putting our stories out there for our loved ones to get justice. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you, Mr. James. Sorry, I'm still trying to get my YouTube to come up so I can give some wrenches out. Yep, Mom is right. Sunshine's right. She says there's not, if there ain't at least one dumpster fire, it's not alive. Absolutely, especially over here. Thank you very much, Mom. Put in Arctic's channel. Grandma Sherry's channel. Sunshine, feel free to put in your own channel if you haven't already. Grandma Sherry's the access to the boys in Maryland. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it was just blew my mind, not in a good way, that absolutely check out Crime Web, or Mr. Steve, there it is, Mr. Steve's link in there. Well, I can't, no. Did I shut out my stream? Oh my goodness. Once again, dumpster fire. Thank you, Miss Mary. Miss Marion says, well, we hope you have a great night, though. I'm trying. I'm trying. Got six maniac cats. Yeah, I have one old grubby cat, and then I got little Biscuit, who's over currently asleep in the chair. He's a little maniac. He's a little klepto. He tried to steal my hairbrush the other day. He drags around the big bath towels that are 20 times bigger than he is. So I bought him 2 new toys today. So hopefully he'll play with his toys and leave everything else alone. He's got 3 cats. They won't be dry. Like I said, our 2 crackhead cats just eat. They like the chicken or turkey flavor, whatever it is, dry cat food, and then we give them the wet cat food, piss and supper. Passed away this year. It's so tough losing fur babies. Absolutely. Okay, Miss PJ said, I'm assuming you're talking about the possible remain, maybe the area that was said. I'm trying, Miss PJ. I'm trying to get you blue. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. That's a good question. Lance says, are all true crime folk cat people? Crazy cat people? Let's see. I'm trying. I think I might qualify as a. Oh, John Paul says, well, they had the one incident in Georgia the other day, mass incident, and then they had the guy running around, in Georgia was the first one, and then they had the guy running around, or the guy in Kentucky. I don't think they've caught him yet. Thank you, Miss Doris. Yeah, Miss PJ says she's been on a rant about misinformation. Yeah, read John Paul's. Like I said, I shared it on my community tab. And that's basically that's what he was talking about, was the drama and misinformation, and just read it. Read it. It's very good. The Georgia one was a mass. I had to be careful with word things. Mass school incident. Students and 2 teachers lives are taken. It was another 14-year-old student from the school, and they arrested him and charged him, and they arrested his dad actually too, and charged the dad. Yep, it's yeah. Welcome, Cryptex. Good to have you here. I promise we're gonna get started soon, guys. I just uh I'm glad everybody's yes, Lance says, I'm telling you the word has become so evil that only God's justice can sanctify it and cleanse it. Yep. Yeah, John Paul says world gone wild, absolutely. Arctic says Sylvester, his cat thinks the bathroom trash can is his safe room. Oh, that's Biscuit loves. He will knock over every trash can in every room. Oh goodness, it's crazy. He's a crazy cat. He's a demon child cat. Well, I can't get Miss PJ. I promise you soon I will get you your wrench, but I cannot right now. Nothing's coming up on. Nothing's coming up on the. I can't get my YouTube to come up. So I'm almost caught up, maybe. All right, I think I made it down to comments or the end of comments. All right, so thank you everybody for hanging in. Missing Person Monday. Today or tonight is Virginia, like I said earlier, and I said I think I have 10 or 11 cases. Let me first one going loading. So first we have Jamal Abdul Farouk. He went missing on April 16th, 1990 from Richmond, Virginia. This is a non-family abduction. And this is a, as they all are, but this is a especially horrific case. As you'll see when I start giving you the information. He's a black male. He was 7 years old when he went missing. 4'5", 47 pounds. Wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans, a gray and red baseball jacket, and white sneakers. He has black hair and brown eyes. He has a scar on his right eyebrow and a mole on his temple above his left ear, and a small gap between his upper teeth at the time of his disappearance. So Jamal's stepmother had dropped both he and his 8-year-old brother Basil. And a smaller picture on the bottom is his brother Basil. The stepmother dropped he and Basil off at mother's apartment on Clarkston Road. The boys went outside to play in the front yard. God. Oh my gosh. Once again, I apologize. Yeah, Arctic says dumpster fire engaged. Hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. You should still be able to hear me. There we go. I'm back. Can y'all see me now? See me and hear me? Let me know. Farm signal. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Paula. Yeah, I hear you, but you keep breaking up. Yes, my signal is very, very bad. So I apologize if I disappear. I'll try to get back on. Hopefully. Says, well, at least there's a fancy background that was made with love. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mind of Monsters made that for me. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Oh God, I don't know what it's the, even with I've had my farm signal that has been worse than this before, and it's never kicked me out this many times. All right, let me try one more time. Hopefully, you are still hanging out with me. Okay, so this is once again starting over, reset, rewind. Jamal, this is little Jamal Abdul Farouk. He went missing on April 16th, 1990 from Richmond, Virginia. This is a non-family abduction. Horrible, horrible case. It actually involves he and his brother. Little Jamal was 7 years old, black male, 4'5", 47 pounds. Last seen wearing a black Batman t-shirt, blue jeans, a gray and red fleece baseball jacket, and white sneakers. Black hair, brown eyes. He does have a scar on his right eyebrow, and a mole on his temple above his left ear, and he had a small gap between his upper front teeth at the time of his disappearance. All right, so Jamal's stepmother dropped he and his 8-year-old brother Basil. This smaller inset picture on the bottom here, Basil, his brother, on the slide there. She dropped both of them off at their mother's apartment on Clarkson Road on April 16th of 1990. The boys went outside to play in the front yard at around 2:30 p.m. while their mother, Tambra Ellis, went inside to take a nap. She worked a night shift and she slept during the day. So when she woke up after her nap, she searched for the boys. She could not find them. After 45 minutes of searching, she did contact the police. The boys never returned to their apartment. 3 days later, and just trigger warning for all of these cases. I forgot to put the banner up, but just trigger warning. So 3 days later, authorities did discover little Basil fully clothed body in a Chesterfield County landfill 10 miles from their home. He had been bound, gagged, and stabbed twice in the back, and his skull had been fractured post-mortem. His offender placed his remains in a plastic garbage bag and put it in a dumpster. His body was taken to the landfill, but there was no sign of Jamal at the scene, and he has never been seen or heard from again. Following the discovery of Basil's body, investigators did detain the boy's father, Everett Abdul Farouk, for 3 hours. Court documents indicated that authorities initially believed the child was injured or his life was taken inside his father's residence. A search of the property failed to produce any evidence to support that theory, however. Everett, the father, has never been implicated in connection with either Jamal or Basil's cases, although he did refuse to take a lie detector test, saying it was contrary to his religious beliefs. Eventually, both of Jamal's parents were ruled out as suspects in Jamal's disappearance and Basil's homicide. Jamal's favorite food in 1990 was pizza. He enjoyed playing and watching basketball and watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was in the 2nd grade at E.S.H. Green Elementary School at the time of his disappearance. And authorities believe it is possible that he is still alive. So the top smaller picture is an age progression to 38, it says. Yeah, 38. This case is unsolved. So if you have any information regarding either Jamal's disappearance, little Basil's homicide, contact the Richmond Police Department at 804-780-6748. Yay, we actually made it through one case without it going haywire. Let me see if I have... Nope, I didn't have any additional information or supplemental articles on this one. Let me get caught up in your comments right quick. Miss Page said earlier, when I would disappear, she was going to go get a drink as she was pretending it was a commercial break. Yeah, there might be a whole lot of unintended commercial breaks. Let me check out. Oh, the Niners are winning 23-7. They're beating the Jets right now, in case anybody's interested. Yes, Miss Marion has her red flags. Absolutely. No, I really have to do some chores. Boo-hoo. Thank you, John Paul, for popping in. Always good to have John Paul Hansen here. Please do check out his channel. He does excellent music. Excellent. Oh, Miss PJ, you saying the dumpster fires because you were off topic? No. The dumpster fire is I don't think it's all completely my farm signal's fault this time. Oh, I got while you're gardening, you need to grow a few creators on this form a new brain. That's basically what John Paul was saying in his post too. Yep, absolutely. Mr. James says, I just don't know how anyone can hurt a child. Absolutely. Just look at those two precious little boys there. Breaks my heart. Yep, more red flags. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Lance. And Lance says the sound is breaking up. Yeah, it's partly my signal, and I think maybe StreamYard or just the internet, Wi-Fi in general, because I go off the or while I record, go through my phone to record and to live stream. So it's not my phone service is not always the best. So I do apologize for that. Yeah, absolutely. More red flags. Yeah, Miss PJ said totally saying the Ninja Turtles. I had to share this poor baby. Yep. That just I can't. Oh, breaks my heart to look at those little faces. Yes, it. Yeah, Arctic says it is my Wi-Fi signal. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Arctic. There is a link to John Paul Hanson's channel. Please do check it out if you're a music fan. Thank you, Miss Marion. I'm trying. Thank you, Lance. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry about the problems. Yep, there's Miss PJ's channel. Thank you, Arctic, for putting in all these links for me. All right, I think I'm caught up in comments. Okay, so next we have uh Elizabeth Jean Acton. And actually, this is kind of going to be the next one. This one and the next one are related, possibly. So Elizabeth Jean went missing on August 24th, 1994, from Colonial Beach, Virginia. She's a white blue eyes. Her name is Bessie. She may use the last name of Bryant on her abdomen. So Elizabeth was last seen at the Days Inn on Colonial Avenue in Colonial Beach, Virginia on August 24th, 1994. After that, she's never been seen or heard from again. Blood was found in her hotel room. Get your red flags ready on this one and the next one. But her boyfriend, Willow Bruce Cherry, who's that smaller picture on the slide, is Mr. Cherry. He said it was menstrual blood. Elizabeth's car was found elsewhere after her disappearance. And it says, curiously, Mr. Cherry there was arrested for an unrelated homicide in September of 2018. And the body of the victim in that case has not been found. And he has also been charged with first-degree homicide in the presumed unaliving of his brother-in-law, Peter Leon, who disappeared in February 2018. And next his information, because there's not a whole lot of information on Elizabeth, because I looked for a supplemental news article or anything and I could not find one. So Mr. Cherry has not been named as a suspect in any other cases, but Elizabeth's co-worker stated that Elizabeth told her co-workers that she was afraid for her life and told them that if anything happened to her, the police should look at Mr. Cherry there. She worked as a nursing educator at Central Baptist Hospital at the time of her disappearance. It is unsolved, obviously. So if you have any information, call the Westmoreland County Sheriff's Office at 804-493-8066. Yep, we got all the red flags. Miss Marion's got the red flags. Arctic's got the flags. Farah's got the flags. Yep, Mr. James says that's a lot of red flags. Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I thought too. I mean, it's like, you know, somebody cut their finger or cut their hand or something like that. Yeah, that would have most definitely been a better excuse. But, you know, we all know criminals or alleged criminals or, well, he is a criminal because he was convicted of, what did I say, something, are not that bright. So, all right. So, like I said, next, related to this case is Peter Leon. Let me get this information. Of course, it's going to take its sweet time. Did I not? Come on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Don't tell me the site can't be reached. Oh, goodness. There he is. Okay. So this is Peter Leon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right. Lian. He went missing on February 16th, 2008 in Lexington, Kentucky, actually. He's 5'7" 125 to 135 pounds. With brown hair and brown eyes. So Peter was last seen in Lexington on February 16, 2018. His wife, Bertie Eaton, went to the police on February 19th and said that she hadn't seen her husband in 3 days and that the last time she saw him at their apartment on Locust Hill, he had gotten into an argument with her brother, Willow Bruce Cherry, the same individual from Elizabeth's case, and that Mr. Cherry was, quote, on top of him, beating him. Bertie said she became frightened and left the apartment with her 3-year-old daughter and her sister-in-law, Misty Cherry. They went to the apartment complex pool. She returned to the apartment about an hour later, but did not go into Peter's room. Eaton said the door to the bedroom was closed and she could hear Peter groaning and asking for help. She left the apartment again and went back to the pool, spoke to Misty, who asked her not to call the police because Willow had Mr. Cherry there had an outstanding warrant for his arrest. Bertie went back to the apartment and Peter's bedroom door was still closed. Willow was now there. He told her Peter had left and asked her not to go into the bedroom. That's not suspicious at all. She didn't go in or question him further because she was scared. Bertie went to sleep in another room, and when she woke up, she finally went into Peter's bedroom. She saw blood on the carpet. She went to her father's house, and after not hearing from her husband for days, that's when she contacted the police. Based on Bertie's statement, the police got a warrant to search the apartment. They found blood under the carpet in Peter's bedroom, as well as blood-saturated clothing and washcloths. It says there was a lot more blood under the carpet than on top of it, indicating that someone had tried to clean it up. Willow's stepfather, Mr. Cherry's stepfather, Whitney Eaton, said that he saw Peter's Ford Explorer in Willow's driveway and asked him about it, and Willow said Peter had given it to him. He asked Whitney to help him clean some blood from the vehicle, but Whitney refused. Willow later told him Peter, quote, Peter just would not stop fighting. Whitney noted that Willow had Peter's cell phone as well as his vehicle. And when police searched the Ford Explorer, they did find a large amount of blood in the back storage section. He was indicted on a charge of evidence tampering in October of 2018. And in September, he was charged with Peter's homicide. He stated that he did not take the life of his brother-in-law, but supposedly he remembers little about the night in question. How convenient, including what he and Peter were arguing about or how the fight ended. He claims that he was drunk that night and suffers from mental problems. Peter's case is not the only disappearance that Mr. Cherry is associated with. Like we talked about before, Elizabeth, he is the main suspect in her case. Peter's body has not been located. Mr. Cherry is awaiting trial in that case. Foul play obviously suspected in Peter's case. So if you do have any information about this case or Mr. Willow there or Mr. Cherry there, you can contact the Lexington Police Department at 859-258-3600. All right, let me get to your Chris says he'd love to see the Colonial Park case be solved. Absolutely. I would love to see any of these cases solved. Yep. Got more red flags, red flags, red flags. Yeah, absolutely. Artist says, I assure you, Peter's blood was not menstrual blood. Miss Paula says, who is the other guy in the picture with the beard? That is Willow Cherry. That is a suspect in Peter Leon's case, and then Elizabeth Acton's case, the one that we went over before this one. He is a suspect, or well, he has been charged with Peter's homicide. He is a suspect in Elizabeth's disappearance. So he is not a good fella. All right, next we have let me find the right information. Sorry, I can't read my slide. The timer and everything is away. Morton Kurt, I'm trying not to butcher this last name. Agletinger. He's been missing since September 8th of 2015 from Manassas Park, Virginia. 56 years old, white male, 5'8", 155 pounds. Gray hair and brown hazel eyes. He was born in Norway, and his nickname is Mort. So last confirmed sighting of Morton was Sheets gas station in Manassas Park, Virginia at 7:05 p.m. on September 8, 2015. He was driving a green 2012 Ford F-150 pickup truck with a West Virginia license plate of XE590. He was a professional photographer. He was supposed to arrive at Osborne High School in Prince William County, Virginia at around 1 p.m. the next day for a photo shoot. He never arrived there. He has never been heard from again. And since the sighting at the gas station, his credit and debit cards have not been used. On the evening of September 14th, his truck was found undamaged and abandoned on John Risser Road, about a mile from his 20-acre property in the 1100 block of Cattail Run Road, which is in Charlestown, West Virginia. There was no sign of him at the scene. His wallet and cell phone are the only belongings known to have gone missing with him. Morton lived with Gail Livingstone and her mother. Now pay close attention to this part. Livingstone was his sometime girlfriend, and he worked for her part-time at the organic farm that she ran on their property. It was she who reported him missing, and she and her mother told police that he had left home at 6 a.m. on September 9th to go to the photo shoot in Prince William County. So keep in mind, it wasn't that far, and he didn't have to be there until 1 p.m., but they claimed that he left at 6 a.m. However, authorities did find his camera bag packed with thousands of dollars worth of equipment in a barn on his property. And if he was going to a photo shoot, he would have taken all that with him. One of his friends stated that he never let anyone else touch his cameras and would never have left them behind. And as I said earlier, it is also unclear why he would have left for the photo shoot so early in the morning when it was only 55 miles away, and he didn't have to be there until 1 p.m. And his sometime girlfriend and her mother said that he left home at 6 a.m. that morning. Prior to his disappearance, Morton had told Livingston that her mother had to leave their home. He also had discovered that Livingstone had taken out credit cards under his name and ran up thousands of dollars on them. And he was considering pressing charges against her. It is unclear whether this is related to his disappearance. My opinion, most definitely it does have. She maintains her innocence, of course, and she has since moved to Maryland. Morton got a degree in philosophy from the University of Oslo in his native Norway. And his only blood relative, a sister, still lives in Norway. He had been living in the U.S. since the 1980s. He studied at the Brooks Institute of Photography in California. He had a 10-year work visa, and he made his living shooting portraits and video. And some of his pictures have been published in national newspapers and magazines. His case remains unsolved. Once again, foul play definitely suspected. So if you have any information on this case, call the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department at 304-728-3205. And I don't think I had, so yeah, lots of red flags. Somebody snuck in on me. There it is. Welcome, Patriotism USA. Good to have you back. Long time no see. Good to have you here. Yep, absolutely. Arctic said abandoned vehicle is always a huge red flag. You are correct. Yep, Mr. James says yes, you just don't leave your vehicle somewhere. Absolutely. Everybody's got their red flags. Chris says he is familiar with Morton's case. Excellent. Yep, that says it. Wow. Yep, there's something afoot at the Circle K. Oh, so Cold Justice did an episode. I will have to watch that. All right. Next we have, get the information. Caitlin Michelle Aikens. She was December 5th of 2015 from Springfield, Virginia. She was a white female. She was 19 years old at the time she went missing. She'll be 28 years old now. At the time she went missing, she was 5'4", 122 pounds. Sorry, I had to drink. She was last seen wearing a dark gray fleece pullover sweater with a Bass Pro Shop emblem, black pants, and a pink and black Vans shoes. She has blonde hair, blue eyes. She does have a tattoo of 5 butterflies on her left forearm, a tattoo of 3 red stars bursting on the top of her foot. She wears glasses with dark frames. Her nose and navel are pierced, and the right side of her lower lip is pierced. And she also has a gauge type of piercings in her ears. I think the gauge type is like those big big round holes. I don't think I have a good picture. You might can tell on that picture there that's on the slide. So Caitlin was last seen in Springfield on December 5th, 2015. She was supposed to fly out of Reagan National Airport that day, and got a ride with her former stepfather, James Branton. She had booked a flight to Arizona, where she lived with her fiance. The flight was at 5 p.m., and according to Branton, Akins wanted to spend some time at the mall before going to the airport. So he says that he dropped her off at the Springfield Town Center, and from there she was going to walk to the Franconia Springfield Metro Station and take a train to the airport. Now, to me, just that doesn't make sense, because you have to lug all your luggage with you. Why would you want to lug all your luggage around the mall before, and then take the metro to the airport? But that's just me, in my opinion. So Mr. Branton, her former stepfather, texted her mother at 1:52 p.m. saying that he had dropped Caitlin off. 8 minutes later, her mother got a text from Caitlin's phone saying, quote, "I'm at the airport, battery dying, so won't be able to text for a bit." Caitlin never boarded her flight. She never arrived in Arizona and has never been heard from again. So 5 hours and 15 minutes after Caitlin's mother got the text from her, from Caitlin's phone, she got a series of texts from that number that alarmed her. The text stated that Caitlin was, quote, "staying with a friend," and, quote, "needed some time alone." Those messages were not sent from the airport. Caitlin's phone was near Interstate 95 in Stafford County, Virginia, when those texts were sent. It is uncharacteristic of Caitlin to leave without warning. She was about to begin cosmetology school in Arizona. She was excited about it. Authorities do not believe she left of her own accord, and they were able to prove that Mr. Branton, her former stepfather, I believe it was, never dropped her off at the mall like he said he did. So apparently he maybe used her phone coordinates, or GPS coordinates on her phone, or his phone, or both, to prove that. A few days after her disappearance, her blue suitcase was found in a drainage ditch along River Road near the Fall Hill Avenue intersection outside of Fredericksburg, Virginia. This was a few miles from Branton's home, her former father-in-law's home, and it was not anywhere near the Reagan National Airport, where he said that, he said he dropped her off at the mall, and that she was going to take a metro to the airport. When the suitcase was found, it was unzipped and mostly empty. Caitlin's phone charger, glasses, wallet, cash, ID, credit and debit cards, and other belongings were still inside, but her clothes and her high school diploma were missing. So to me, when I read this, is very strange. Why would someone leave all that other stuff there and take clothes and a high school diploma? Very, very strange. The suitcase was scuffed, and one of its wheels was missing, which was an indication, they said, that it had fallen down into the ditch or been thrown into the ditch. Caitlin has no history of mental illness, no history of dropping out of sight. The last confirmed sighting of her was at Branton's home. He refused to cooperate with the police in her case. He would not let them look at his phone, and he would not take a polygraph test. So, obviously her case is unsolved. She's considered missing under suspicious circumstances. And I think we all know, in our opinions, who our number one person of interest is. But if you have any information on Caitlin's case, call the Spotsylvania County sheriff's office at 540-582-7115. And let me see if I had I know I think for 2 of these I did have article. I don't think it was this one. All right, let me get caught up in you guys' comments. Yeah. It seems like gas stations are popular. Oh, sorry, are popular places to go missing from. Yep, more red flags. I've wondered the same thing. Not judging, each to their own. But Arctic said, often I've wondered who the first person who woke up and thought putting dinner plates in their earlobes was a good idea. Yeah. I mean, my ears are pierced. I can't wear earrings anymore because apparently I'm allergic to everything now. But yeah, to me, that would just hurt. I don't know. Yep, more red flags. Yes, prayers up for Caitlin. Absolutely. Yep, and Mr. James says, sounds crazy to drop her off. Should have just taken her to the airport. Excuse me. My opinion, he knows something more than he's saying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they said that, sorry, I get a different setup. I'm sitting on my bed here. But, yeah, because I said, let me go back to it, that they can prove that her former, what did I say, former stepfather, they can prove that he did not drop her off like he said he did. Now, I don't know if they're going by a cell phone GPS or something of that nature. Yeah, they said authorities do not believe she left of her own accord, and they were able to prove that her former stepfather never dropped her off at the mall like he said he did. And when her phone pinged, it was way out on by the freeway, I believe. I think it was like I-90. Yeah. Caitlin's phone, the messages were not sent from the airport when she said that she was going to, quote, stay with a friend because she needed some time alone. Those messages, when those messages were sent, her phone was near Interstate 95 in Stafford County, Virginia. So, yeah, I think Mr. Bretton's got some splaining to do. Yes, absolutely. The math ain't mathing. Or mate, yeah, it's not mating either. I know what you meant, T. Yeah, he does need a good interrogation. Absolutely. That's what I was wondering too. T says, well, if they can prove that he did not drop her off like he said he did, what the heck has he not been arrested for? That's what I was wondering. But apparently, I mean, just playing devil's advocate, because I completely agree with what you're saying, what you're getting at. But just because they can prove that he didn't drop her off there doesn't necessarily prove that he did anything to her. But I mean, to me, that will be probable cause enough for, a good talking to, a good interrogation. But I think it said that he refused to cooperate. He would not let them look at his phone, and he would not take a polygraph test. So to me, that's all I need, plus the fact that they say they can prove that he did not drop her off at the mall. I agree with you, T. I don't understand, but they say, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, unfortunately. All right, next we have, this is Genevieve. Let me find her. Genoveba Ortega Alvarez. And we'll get to the smaller inset picture of the gentleman there in a minute. Genoveba went missing on December 31st of 2016 from Harrisonburg, Virginia. She's an Hispanic female, 29 years old, 5'1" to 5'5", 170 pounds. She was last seen wearing a white sweater, a black blouse, and black pants. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She has tattoos on both arms, including a clown face on her left forearm. So Genoveba was last seen in Harrisonburg, Virginia on December 31st, 2016. She was driving her gray 2011 Hyundai. She has never been heard from again. At 1 p.m. on January 1st, the Hyundai was found wrecked and abandoned in a ravine in the 3400 block of Busthead Road outside the Plains of Virginia. Hold on one second, because I do have an additional article. I just want to get it loading. So we won't have to wait forever. Investigators there's not a whole lot of information here. Investigators identified a person of interest in Genoveba's disappearance, an Hispanic male whose first name is believed to be Cesar. And that smaller inset picture there is Cesar, or Caesar. I'm sure it's pronounced Cesar, Ceasar. He may use the alias name Pepe. The circumstances of Genoveba's case is unclear, and her disappearance remains unsolved. So if you have any information, you can call the Rockingham County Sheriff 540 564-3800, or gotta be careful how I say this. I don't Fauquier County Sheriff's Office at 540-347-0. And if I can get the have an article with a little bit more information. This is from the Daily News. That is record, and it is from March 11th of this year. Police continue to look for leads in the case of a missing Rockingham County woman 5 months after her car was found crashed in Fauquier County. Authorities say the last time Genoveba Ortega Alvarez, 29, was seen was about 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve, when she left her home in a 2011 gray Hyundai. She is considered endangered missing. I had to start over. I was reading the article of Genoveba. Where are my slides? Oh, goodness. Okay, there's my slides. Let me get it to the right slide. Right, there we go. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. You should be able to hear me. Let's see, somebody snuck in on me. Hold on. Jane's Addiction is back. Welcome back. She says, hello, friends. Hello back to you, friend. I still love that name. I know you said you didn't get it from the band, but it's still awesome anyway. So welcome back. Yes, Miss Marianne's got her red flags. Okay, thank you. Miss Marianne said you can hear me again. All right. Okay, so I started reading this article I did find on Genoveba's case. I'll start over because I try to keep an eye on my phone screen to see if it kicks me out, but I wasn't paying any attention. So if I repeat what you've already heard, I apologize. But police are continuing to look for leads in the case of Genoveba. She was her car was found 5 months after her car was found crashed in Fauquier County. Authorities say the last time that Genoveba was seen was about 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve when she left her home in a 2011 gray Hyundai. She is considered endangered missing. While county deputies are leading the investigation, local authorities are assisting. Rockingham County Sheriff Brian Hutchison said investigators will still look for her in Rockingham County, even though he believes that she hasn't returned to the Harrisonburg area. He said, quote, anything is possible until we determine what happened to her. Until we have definitive answers, we are not going to rule anything out, end quote. Rockingham County deputies posted information on the department's Facebook page Tuesday when this article was written in an attempt to bring more attention to the case. The county detectives say the investigation is ongoing, but they did not release details. We are still running out investigative leads, said Dawn Rosenberry, County Sheriff's Office detective. She says, we have talked to sources and have done numerous interviews in multiple jurisdictions since January. According to a January 4th search warrant, family members told deputies that Alvarez was intoxicated when she left the home the night that she went missing. Deputies found her car the next afternoon in the 3400 block of Bust Head Road near the Plains in Fauquier County. It appeared the car had crashed, but no one was in or near the vehicle, according to police, who used tracking dogs to search the area but found nothing. It is unclear if Alvarez was driving or was even in the vehicle when it crashed. She had no ties to Fauquier County, and she did not have a reason to be there or travel through the area. And this is what her family told deputies. Court documents state the last call made from Alvarez's cell phone was on January 1st at about 8:30 a.m. to the Rockingham County Health Department, which was closed. And the phone after that has been dead since then. On January 4th, deputies searched the vehicle and found ATM receipts and her wallet. Police also found a purse in the car and a bank card found in a wallet matched the one used to make the withdrawals. Deputies then obtained a search warrant for bank records at DuPont Community Credit Union. Previously, a county deputy said detectives obtained the records to see if there had been any bank activity since the crash, although he declined to say whether the records provided any leads in the case. Also in the car, deputies say, was a case of Takata beer. Her family told investigators that was not the brand of beer that she was drinking before she left, and that she does not drink that brand. Alvarez was last seen wearing a white sweater with a black blouse underneath, black pants, the clown tattoo on her left forearm. Once again, anyone with information about her whereabouts or her case is asked to call the Fauquier County deputies at 540-347-3300 or Rockingham County deputies at 564-3800. And callers may remain anonymous. All right, we made it through that one without any catastrophes. barely. All right. Next, we have, get the information up. Find the right one here. I got too many bookmarks on my computer. This should be Shakita Bell. Shakita went missing on June 27th, 1996 from Alexandria, Virginia. She's a black female. She was 23 years old at the time of her disappearance. She'll be 51 now. At the time she disappeared, she was 5'6" to 5'7", 150 to 170 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black and white a plaid tank top, black spandex pants, black high-heeled shoes, and a diamond bracelet. She has black hair and brown eyes. Her ears are pierced, and she has a tattoo on her left breast. So Shakita was last seen leaving her family's residence on Redmond Street in Alexandria, Virginia on June 27th, 1996. She was accompanied by her ex-boyfriend, Michael Eric Dickerson, who that smaller picture there on the slide is Mr. Dickerson. At the time, they were riding in his gray 1987 Cadillac Fleetwood with tinted windows. He was supposed to be driving Shakita while she took 2 of her 3 children to a doctor's appointment. She called home at 2 p.m. to say that she would be returning there shortly, but she never arrived and she has never been heard from again. And when questioned, Mr. Dickerson claimed that he and Shakita had gone to Southeast Washington, D.C. together, and they had an argument, and she had left him there. See, that's another story, the same old story. You know, we went out, we had an argument, she got out of the car or whatever and left, and I hadn't seen her since. Same story. To me, that's a big red flag. It's always the same story. So Shakita's family believes that Dickerson had been, there had been DV involved with Shakita for some time prior to her disappearance, or prior to June of 1996. Her mother stated that Dickerson would not allow Shakita to attend church, and neighbors reported hearing frequent loud arguments between the couple. A month before her disappearance, Shakita told the police that Dickerson, who lived with her in Laurel, Virginia, had DV'd her. Dickerson was charged with malicious wounding, and Shakita moved in with her grandmother in Alexandria. She did write down an account of the attack. 3 weeks later, Shakita reported that Dickerson had threatened her and held a firearm to her head. He was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm as a result. After Shakita's disappearance, her purse was found in the vehicle of Jonathan Jody Shields, who is a friend of Mr. Dickerson. Shields told investigators that Dickerson told him that he had taken the life of Shakita in Washington, D.C. Dickerson allegedly asked this Shields guy or fella for help in getting rid of the body. They traveled to Dickerson's house, and Shields said that he saw Shanita's body lying in the yard. He says that he acted as a lookout while Dickerson wrapped the corpse in a blanket and put it in his own car. He says that he and Mr. Dickerson then went to a wooded area alongside Old Fort Road in Fort Washington, Maryland, and Dickerson buried the body. Shields agreed to visit Dickerson in jail and wear an audio recording device in hopes of recording Dickerson's confession to Shakita's homicide. But on June 6, 1999, a day before the visit was scheduled, he was the victim of a homicide. Imagine that. And his homicide remains unsolved. In March of 1997, authorities dug up the yard of Dickerson's parents' home in the 3200 block of G Street, southeast in Washington, D.C. They found no evidence relating to Shakita's case. Dickerson was convicted of DV on Shakita after her disappearance. Shakita's handwritten account of the assault was used as evidence against him. Shakita was employed as a clerk at the Giant Food Bakery at the time of her disappearance. She does not have a criminal record or any history of leaving without warning. Her loved ones do not believe she would have abandoned her children. Absolutely not. I believe 99.9% of cases, a mother would not willingly leave her child, and the youngest of whom was only an infant when she disappeared. This breaks my heart. Two of her previous boyfriends had been GSW'd to death, and one of the homicides is considered to be substance related. At the time of her disappearance, Shakita was afraid for her life. She did keep a diary. She kept a diary to be used as evidence in case she was the victim of a homicide. In January of 2008, while still incarcerated for assaulting Shakita, Dickerson was charged with her homicide and with the homicide of another man, Sean A. Thomas, who was GSW'd on the street in February of 1996. Bell was interviewed by police about Thomas's homicide in June of 1996 and stated Dickerson had told her that he did commit the crime. When police told Dickerson that he was a suspect in the Thomas homicide, he told them he knew that Shakita must have reported him. Investigators believe that he took the life of Shakita at least in part because she had knowledge of Mr. Thomas's homicide. In October of 2008, Dickerson pleaded guilty to second-degree homicide in Shakita's case, and he did also admit to the Thomas homicide. As part of the plea agreement, he was not prosecuted in the Thomas case. He did lead authorities to a wooded area in Prince George's County, Maryland, where he says he buried Shakita's body, but digging there has thus far not produced any evidence. So, Dickerson will serve just 15 years in prison without parole eligibility. 15 years. Foul play obviously is suspected in Shakita's case. Her body has still not been found. So if you have any information in this case, you can call the Alexandria Police Department at 738384444. Let me see. I think I had I did have an additional article. I know you guys probably have a lot to say about this case. Sorry if you hear me slurping on my drink. Let me get down. Yes, accompanied by the ex, always a red flag. And just that story, it's always the same story, whether it be an ex or a current, significant other. Like one of them disappears and, oh, we were out, we had an argument, and they just got up and left and walked away. They've got to start coming up with some better stories, I'm telling you. Yep, big red flags. Yep, lots of DV charges, and dude is jealous of it. Yep, lots of red flags, absolutely. That's true. Arctic says prison justice is still justice. Yep. Mr. James says sounds like someone else got justice in his opinion. Oh goodness, gotta bring football into it. Arctic says, wow, she picked men about as well as the Cowboys recruit players. I watched the Cowboys play the other day. Let's see, I keep forgetting to look at the Niners score. Oh, dang it. Let's see, what is it? Well, they keep showing the replays. Oh, goodness. The Niners are winning 32-13. My mom will be happy. Yes, thank you, Mr. James. KC all the way, Chiefs. Yes. The Chiefs are one of my two favorite NFL teams, along with the Bears. The Bears. The Bears won, y'all. The Bears beat Tennessee Sunday. I was so happy. Oh, especially after my Razorbacks ended up losing Saturday. But, for Arkansas, they did a good job hanging in there with a ranked team. Yes, Miss Marion says that people need to keep their hands to themselves. Absolutely. Oh, Miss PJ's back. Welcome back, Miss PJ. Miss James or Mr. James says if I took Miss Marion for a ride and said I dropped her off, I would be under the jail. Yeah, probably so. Oh goodness. That's a very excellent point. Miss PJ says, with all these crimes that keep repeating over and over, does prison justice happen anymore? I don't know. Oh, Miss Marion says she's a New York Giants fan. Yeah, the Niners are beating the Jets right now, 32-19. And Miss PJ says that she knows in New Hampshire it doesn't, besides the corrupt prison guards. See, I was thinking the same thing. Ortega said, talking to Mr. James, said, James, you would be buried before you made it to jail if I know Barbara as well as I think I do. Yep, I was thinking the same thing. Absolutely. Yep. Oh. All right. Let's see who we have next. We have, make sure I'm getting the right, Lori Lynn Bradshaw. Get her information going. Give me another drink. Lori Lynn Bradshaw went missing on June 12th, 1987 from Cumberland, Virginia. She's a white female, 27 years old when she disappeared. Or I'm assuming it just says 27 years old. 5'7", 130 pounds. She had light brown hair and hazel eyes. She wore glasses. She had a tattoo of a Mary Jane leaf on her right forearm and a tattoo of Harley Davidson wings on her left forearm. And she is missing one of her upper front teeth. Excuse me. So Lori was last seen at a shared Cumberland, Virginia residence on June 12th, 1987. That day she called Frisbee Store and Restaurant where she worked as a stock clerk. She says she would be at work the next day, but she never showed up. She disappeared from the home during the night of late night, June 12th, or into the morning of June 13th, leaving behind her car, money, and other personal belongings, and she has never been heard from again. On June 24th, 12 days after Lori was last seen, a man was driving her car, which was an Aqua 1964 Oldsmobile, when police stopped him and issued a traffic citation. And he was the brother of a friend of Lori's. It is unclear why this man was using her vehicle or whether he had anything to do with her disappearance. But after police realized that Lori was missing, they were unable to find either the man or her car. Lori had been living in Cumberland for about 6 months prior to her disappearance. Prior to that, she lived with her brother in Powhatan, Virginia. He reported her missing on July 7th, and her case remains unsolved. So if you have any information on Lori's case, you can call the Virginia State Police at 804-674-2026. Let me see if I had an extra article on her. No. All right. So that's the only information we have. And I did do research and try to find supplemental articles, news articles for all these cases. Once again, not a lot of information. I think I found articles on two out of the 10 or 11. And it's just so sad that especially these older cases. But even on a lot of older cold cases, missing cases, you can find at least one article that has, you know, more additional information, interviews with the investigators, family members. But unfortunately, on a lot of most of these, except for two, I didn't find any extra information. Yeah, Miss Marion says, yep, see, she's got witnesses. Yep. If Miss Marion, I love Mr. James to death, but if Miss Marion ever goes missing, because that the spouse is always the first one that they look at. Oh goodness. Miss PJ says she's a New Englander, so she's a Patriots fan. Boo hiss. I'm kidding. If we were talking about football, oh yeah, we're always talking about football, music, movies, whatever. Yeah, Miss Marion says it's so sad we have to put the cold cases out there too. Yeah, see, and most of the cases and missing that I feature on my channel are cold cases, because there are so many other creators like Arctic and Duchess and Mom, Mind of Monsters, that are doing excellent work with these recent missing cases. Now, I do share some recent missing, at least share the flyers and the information, or share other creators' posts to my community tab into Facebook. But yeah, it is unbelievable how many cold cases there are that need more awareness brought to them. Yep, that's exactly where all this information comes from. Arctic says, unfortunately, you run into that a lot. Some of the cold cases, the only information I can find comes from the Charley Project. Absolutely, that's my go-to. Charley Project is my go-to. Like I said, when I get my, like, for Missing Person Monday, when I get all my cases together that I'm going to feature and get the slideshow made, I'll go through and go to Uncle Google. I can't talk. Uncle Google, the Google machine, and try to find some news articles with more information. And most of the time, you can't find any. Just basic information that the Charley Project has. Same information. Absolutely, Miss Marion says the cold cases are never forgotten. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Miss Paula is a Patriots fan. She said, "Go Pats!" They looked amazing on Sunday. Yeah, they did. I watched that game. They looked pretty good. Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. James says, "Remember, every cold case is someone's baby too. God bless you for everything you do." Thank you so much. Not just me. Not just me. I do my best. I try to do my little part on my little channel here. But yes, doesn't matter how, if they're missing for a day, a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I featured cold cases that are 40 and 50 years old. But yeah, there's still somebody out there that's missing their loved one. Absolutely. All right, let's see who we got next. Find the right one. This is Nancy Leigh Britner. Nancy, we're missing on June. Sorry, Biscuit just is kicking in his sleep, and he just kicked all his toys off the chair. Anyway, Nancy went missing on June 29th of 2023, so this is a more recent case. She is missing from Winchester, Virginia. She's 45 years old, white female, 5'4", 110 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black sleeveless tank top, denim shorts, black and gold sandals, and multiple rings on her left hand. She was also carrying a purple tag-along suitcase. She is a recovering alcoholic, but she was clean and sober at the time of her disappearance. She had been sober for over a year. God bless her. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She has tattoos on her neck, chest, feet, leg, and both arms. Including but not limited to leaves on her neck, behind her ear, a large cross on her upper arm at the shoulder, a flower with vines on that forearm, a fish skeleton, and a flowered band on the opposite upper arm, a butterfly, hearts, and the dates 3/16/54 and 7/8/98 on her chest, a Playboy bunny tattoo on her calf. Her ears are pierced. She may use the alias names Nanci Leigh Castillo, Linda R. Garcia, Linda Hogot, and or Nanci L. Hogot. So lots of tattoos. I always give, because I've had people, why do you give the tattoos, scars, anything of that nature, or if you're looking for, a missing person, or if it's the worst possible outcome and you find human remains, depending on what condition they're in, tattoos, scars are very, very helpful in identifying somebody. And if you see somebody, a missing that's still alive, tattoos will jog your memory. So that is why I give all that information. All right, so Nanci was last seen at the Relax Inn on a Valley Avenue in Winchester, Virginia at around midnight on June 29th, 2023. She was visiting her sister who lived there in an efficiency apartment. Her sister fell asleep at about 11:30 p.m. on June 28th. And when she woke up, Nanci, sorry, I lost my place. When she woke up, Nanci was gone and the door was locked, suggesting that she did leave voluntarily and locked the door behind her. Just after midnight, Nanci spoke on the phone with her fiance who was at work, and she texted her niece asking for a ride back to her own home, which was in the 400 block of North Kent Street. It says she could have stayed the night at Relax Inn, but she wanted to get home because she was anticipating a visit the next day from her adult son and his children, whom she hadn't seen in nearly a year. And Nanci didn't answer her niece's reply, and her niece assumed that she had gotten a ride with someone else. She has never been heard from again, and both of her prepaid cell phones have been turned off since her disappearance. Authorities were able to track one of the phones to an undisclosed Frederick County, Virginia location where it was turned off. So that'd be interesting to know. Maybe that's something law enforcement is not, they're keeping it to themselves, because probably has something to do with the case. Her family describes her as a homebody who was close to her family. She loved her 13 grandchildren, and had no history of leaving without warning. Her sister was undergoing treatment for cancer at the time of her disappearance, and she was helping take care of her. The morning before her disappearance, she had delivered a box of food to her sister. Her disappearance remains unsolved, and her family believes that she got a ride that night with someone that she knew. So if you have any information on Nanci's case, Winchester Police Department at 540-662-4131. And I think I do have an article, if it'll come up, an article with a little bit of information. Let me get to your comments. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Arctic says that I always do videos on them, but I post a ton of cold cases to my community. Yeah, while I was at work today, my car waiting orders. I got it on YouTube, and I shared a whole I think that you did from today. I shared them to my community page. So thank you, Arctic, for everything that you do, sir. You do an amazing job. Arctic says he has covered Nanci's case. Excellent. Yes, absolutely. Mr. James says, thank you so much to Arctic Fox for everything that you do for everyone else. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're most welcome. Oh, there's our friend Dave. Dave, hey Dave. Dave is listening and driving. Good to see you, my friend. I finally got to make it back to Dave's live Sunday morning. It was about 11:30 my time, between 11:30 and midnight-ish my time. And I think, if I haven't already, I think I shared it. I know I shared the link during the live. Please do check out Al on the Prowl. If somebody can throw, or Al can do it, Dave can do it, and I know he won't. Please do check out Dave's channel, Al on the Prowl. He does excellent work covering true crime, covering the weather. I watched his live. He did it what 3 o'clock, I think 3 o'clock my time this morning. I watched it while I was at work when it was slow. Yeah, some of that, depending on if that hurricane zigs or zags, Arkansas may get, hopefully we'll just get the rain that we need. Uh-oh. Dave says he's trying to avoid deer. Yeah, it's that way down here too. It's that time of year. Deer are migrating, and I actually saw one that didn't make it across the road on my way to or from work. He was laying on the side of the road. He didn't make it. I'm surprised that the game warden didn't come pick it up, because he was laying there for a couple of days. Not to get too graphic. I apologize, but it's good to have Dave here. Oh, thank you. Yep, Arctic beat me to it. There is Dave's channel. Please do check it out. Dave is a wonderful human being, as is Arctic and everybody here. Dave does a wonderful job sharing the weekly true crime, the weekend true crime, and then he does cold cases too. Dave brings attention to cases that I've never heard of before. Yeah, Mr. James says this doesn't happen if you're so busy with family and other things going on. You just don't leave your family. Absolutely. Yes, that is so true. Because Arctic is also in Arkansas. He says in Arkansas, avoiding deer and potholes is an Olympic sport. I think I have because I have avoided both deer and potholes. And it's actually easier to avoid the deer than it is to avoid the potholes. Oh, Lord, Arkansas roads are horrible, horrible. Especially if you live out in the county. If you don't live in city limits and you have to live down, out in the country, out on the farm like I live. It's horrible. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. James thought that was funny. Yeah, Arctic is a funny guy. Dave is a funny guy too. All right. Oh, okay. So I almost forgot to a little bit of information on Nanci's case. This article is from, let me get rid of some ads so I can see. March 28th of this year. The family of a missing woman from Winchester is still without any answers 9 months after her disappearance. 45-year-old Nanci Britner was last seen on June 28th in her sister's hotel room at the Relax Inn in Winchester. Nanci's sister said that Nanci was trying to find a ride home when she fell asleep that night. When she woke up the next morning, she said that Nanci was gone. Nanci's sister has been questioned by Winchester police. Now, as the 1-year anniversary of Nanci's disappearance approaches, her family is still seeking answers. Nanci's daughter, Kelsey, says, I just want people to know that it's not just going to go away, that I'm going to continue to be my mother's voice. She deserves to be found, and she doesn't deserve anything that happened to her. Absolutely. Kelsey said that there have been little to no updates on her mother's case from Winchester police over the last several months. She said that the lack of progress in the case has been frustrating. She says, I'm more angry. It's kind of like a grief stage because I'm missing I'm missing the missing. She's not here anymore physically, so I'm going through those stages of grief. Kelsey has expressed frustration with how Winchester police have handled her mother's case. She says she feels like the effort from the police has not been there and that they did not take the case seriously in the beginning. Unfortunately, that's true in some cases. She says, I feel like law enforcement has fallen short of our expectations, and they did openly admit to me that they were not prepared to handle this kind of case with an adult that's missing. What kind of case? It's a missing persons case. I don't understand why they would say that. So they said they were not prepared to handle this kind of case with an adult that's missing. So unless there's something else going on that they have not released publicly, I don't understand that statement. It's a missing persons case. You look for the missing person. Anyway, that's just my opinion. With no answers coming from police, Kelsey and her family and friends have taken steps of their own, like putting up flyers to try to find out what happened to Nanci. Kelsey says, we have been really just following up on leads, conducting searches in relevant areas. We're maintaining the reward offer and organizing community events to keep my mother's name out there. Kelsey said that the disappearance of her mother has also been difficult on her children. She said, with my kids, we just talk about memories and stuff, happy memories. I let them know that their Nana loves them and she would not just be out there without them because she was really devoted to them and that mommy is still trying to find their Nana. Oh, God, that breaks my heart. Kelsey said that she has some guesses as to what may have happened to her mother on the night that she disappeared. She is hopeful that the truth will eventually come out. She says, I have doubt, but I do have hope. I'm just hoping whoever knows what happens just says something. Yes. Like Mom, Sunshine, and we all say, if you see something, say something. She says, tell me the truth, just what happened that night. It says WHSV did reach out to Winchester Police for comment on their ongoing investigation, but did not hear back. So that's some additional information on Nanci's case. Let's see what we got. You're most welcome, Dave. You deserve all that support. Y'all, please go support Dave's channel. He does amazing work. He is up over 200 subscribers now. I think last time I looked, it was at 214 or 215. So go over there and sub up to Dave. Sub up to Arctic. Sub up to Mind of Monsters. Miss PJ, Lighting the Way Home, Truth and Justice channel, Cold Justice or Cold Truth, Miss Mel. I haven't seen Miss Mel tonight, but True Crime Web. All those links can be found on the homepage of my channel. Scroll down to where it says "Visit Our Friends," and all those links are there. Please, please. Yep, red flags. Absolutely. Miss James says, Alan the Proud, thank you for everything you do. Absolutely. All right. Let's get through these. All right. The next one is believe this is James Kenneth Britt. Yes. Get a quick drink. So James Kenneth Britt went missing on April 11th, 2011 from Portsmouth, Virginia. He's a white male, 49 years old. I think this one, this is another, lots to unpack in this case too, I believe. He's 49 years old, 5'11", 180 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. And his nicknames are Jim or Jimmy. So James was last seen in Portsmouth on April 11th, 2011. On April 15th, the police were asked to check on his welfare, and they went to his home on Moonlit Avenue. They found a large amount of blood spattered in several parts of the house, on the walls, floors, and ceiling. There was so much, once again, trigger warning for all these cases. There was so much that it had saturated the carpet down to the padding. So that is a lot of blood loss. Someone had tried to conceal the stains by bleaching them and painting them over. 5 of his teeth were also found, but there was no sign of James himself. Investigators said there was enough blood to indicate homicide, and James was declared legally deceased in August of 2011. In April of 2012, a Florida man, Freddie Lee Hall Jr., who is a smaller picture there on the slide, is Mr. Freddie Lee Hall Jr. He was charged with James's homicide. He and James had a business relationship for 2 years. James sold high-end used cars, and Mr. Hall did work on them. They had once again argued at least 3 times in the 2 weeks before James's disappearance. Supposedly, Mr. Hall had been paid to fix the car, but he never did the work and never returned the money to James. James said that Hall had been to his house twice and was stalking and harassing him, but he never said he was concerned for his safety. When police searched the homes of 2 women who Mr. Hall had stayed with, they found 2 cars that James owned. The titles were in Mr. Hall's possession, and he said that James had been selling him the vehicles. But James's friends said he liked those cars and would not have sold them. Investigators found Mr. Hall's fingerprints in several parts of James's house, including the master bedroom. There was a 9mm cartridge case in the house and a receipt in Mr. Hall's car for 9mm bullets that he bought 5 days before James's presumed homicide. Mr. Hall was convicted of first-degree homicide in January of 2013. The jury recommended a sentence of life without parole. James was unmarried and childless at the time of his disappearance. He has one brother who described him as an intelligent and hardworking man who paid his own way through college. Obviously, foul play is suspected. But his remains have never been found. So if you have any information on James's case, you can call the Portsmouth Police Department at 757-235-0315. I didn't have any, but that was a lot of information. So basically, this Freddie Lee Hall Jr. was convicted of James's homicide. Jury gave him a life without, but like I said, James's remains have not been found, just to give family closure, obviously. All right, let me get caught up in your comments. I think we got 2 more to go, or 1 or 2 more. Hey, Miss Dandy. Dandy says, peekaboo. Hello, everyone. Dandy's playing hide and seek. She's lurking in the bushes. Always good to have Miss Dandy here. One of my OGs, my original gals. Dandy is a wonderful person. Paula says she is ready to vote in tomorrow's New Hampshire primary. Excellent. Thank you, Miss Marion. You're most welcome, ma'am. Oh, I almost put Miss Marion in timeout accidentally. Oh, I'd be in trouble if I put Miss Marion in timeout and she didn't even do anything. All right. Next we have This is Miss Hattie Gertrude Brown. She is a veteran. Miss Hattie has been missing since May 16th of 2009 from Halifax County, Virginia. She's a black female. She was 48 years old at the time she went missing. She would be 63 now. At the time she went missing, she was 5'4", 155 pounds. She was last seen wearing a sleeveless top and pants with side stripes. Hattie requires a critical medication for unspecified reasons, as she did not have her medication with her. She has black hair and brown eyes. She has a scar on her abdomen, and her ears are pierced. So Hattie, Miss Hattie picked up her, so pay attention, picked up her adult nephew, Derek Edward Brown, and that's not the one in the smaller picture there. We'll get to the gentleman in the smaller picture. But she picked up her nephew, Derek Edward Brown, at a Sheetz gas station. I've never heard of Sheetz gas stations. I guess that's a Virginia thing, or that region of the United States thing. But anyway, she picked him up at a Sheetz gas station at the intersection of Route 501 and Route 58 in Halifax County, Virginia on May 16th, 2009. She and her vehicle, which is a brown 2003 Volkswagen Jetta with Virginia license plate DV20505, were captured on the station's security camera at 2:33 a.m. So Hattie dropped Derek off at a party and was last seen idling in her car outside. Derek made it home safely, but his aunt has never been heard from again. In July, 2 months after Hattie's disappearance, her car was found abandoned and burned on a farm in southeastern Halifax County. It had been completely destroyed by the fire and looked as if it had been parked at the location for a long time, they said. Authorities said the farm was abandoned, which suggested that a local person was involved in Hattie's disappearance, since a local would be aware that it would be a safe place to leave her car at this abandoned farm, where it would not be found for some time. After the vehicle's discovery, police publicly named Derek, the nephew, as a suspect in his aunt's disappearance. He has not been charged with any wrongdoing in connection with it, however. Derek does have a prior criminal record for breaking and entering, destroying property, and possession of burglary tools. Hattie's family stated that they do not believe she left of her own accord, as this is uncharacteristic of her behavior. She left her purse and medication behind, as well as her cherished pet chihuahua, when she vanished, and none of her accounts have been touched. She is an Army veteran. She did participate in Operation Desert Storm. She retired in 1998 with the rank of sergeant. She has 11 siblings, so several of whom have passed away in the years since her disappearance. And curiously, Hattie is not the only missing person in her family. Her brother, James Brown Jr., that is the smaller picture there inside of Hattie's picture. That is her brother, James Brown Jr. He disappeared from Clover, Virginia in 2013. The cases are not thought to be connected. Both remain unsolved. So we'll take, if I can get it to come up, a quick look at James's case. James went missing on November 28th, 2013 from Clover, Virginia. A black male, 61 years old, 6 foot, 160 pounds. He was last seen wearing an orange or rust-colored zip-up coat, blue jeans with gold stitching on the back pockets, tan lace-up work boots, a silver chain necklace, and a dark gray or black stocking cap, and he often wore sunglasses. He has black hair and brown eyes. He did have a large black mole on his right cheek, below his eye, and a birthmark on his right side near his rib cage. He had a black mustache at the time of his disappearance. His nickname is Jimmy. He has pins implanted in his left ankle, which unfortunately, or however you want to look at it, if remains are ever found, that will be a good identifier. And he wore eyeglasses for reading. And it just says that he was last seen walking in the vicinity of Neal's Corner Road in Clover, Virginia on November 28th, 2013. It was Thanksgiving Day. He was never seen or heard from again after that. So if you have any information on James's case, or on, another James's case, you can contact the Halifax County Sheriff's Office at 434-476-3339. Right, so we'll go back to, and if you have any information on Miss Hattie's case, you can call the Halifax County Sheriff's Office at 434-476-3334. Or the Virginia State Police at 434-352-7128. And I think I do have an article with a little bit of information on Miss Hattie's case, and this is from May 16th of this year, 2024. May 16th marks 15 years since a Halifax County woman mysteriously disappeared. Hattie Brown was last seen in the early morning hours in South Boston, and her burned out car was found a few months later. Hattie Brown's family says there's not a day that goes by that they do not think about her. Her sister Diane says that she was a great cook, even though it took a while to get everything prepared, but she was a great cook. Hattie was the 11th of 12 children in the Brown family, and she set out to conquer everything that she tried to do. Her adventurous spirit led Hattie to move to Kentucky and Tennessee after high school, and she eventually joined the Army. Her sister Diane said, she went all around. As a matter of fact, she ended up over in the Desert Storm while trying to free Kuwait. After 18 years of serving her country, Hattie moved back to take care of her mother who was sick. Her brother and sisters, Protesta and Diane, said that Hattie was happy to be back close to family and spend a lot of time together over the years. And her family saw Hattie on Friday, May 15th, the day before she disappeared, and they said that they was looking forward to a bridal shower the next day. And her sister Diane said, we were all preparing for my brother Andrew's wedding, which will be in June, as when this article was written. When Hattie did not show up for that shower, her family was not overly concerned. They said it wasn't unusual for her to take off for a day or two. But by Sunday, they started getting worried after they learned that Hattie's purse, driver's license, and dog had been left behind. Her brother Randy said she'll never go anywhere without that little chihuahua. She would never leave that dog behind. On May 16th at around 2:30 a.m., Hattie's family says she went to Sheetz at the intersection of routes 501 and 58 to pick up her nephew Derek. ABC 13 obtained the surveillance video that shows Hattie at the store. In that video, you can see Hattie arriving at the store in her silver Volkswagen Jetta. And the video shows her entering the store. All right. Let me know if you can hear me. There we go. Oh, goodness. We're almost there. We're almost to the finish line. It had to go out one more time to get to the right slide. on Miss Hattie's slide. There we go. Okay. Just let me know if you can hear me. Okay. So the video shows Miss Hattie entering the store briefly, where she said, sorry, I was reading comment, Dandy's comment. The video shows her entering the store briefly, where she says something to what appears to be a security guard. As Hattie leaves, she gestures towards a man that Virginia State Police say was Derek, who is her nephew, the one who has been named as a person of interest. The lead investigator in this case, Senior Special Agent Kevin George, says he cannot comment about what that security guard may have said to investigators. As for what happened between Hattie and Derek outside the store, George says that is up for interpretation. George also says he can't confirm whether the two drove away together. A farmer discovered Hattie's burned out car 2 months later, about 8 miles up the road from the sheets. Thank you, Arctic. Okay, it says we can hear. Sound is good. Thank you. I think it's the investigator. It says, George says, in my opinion, I do not feel that Miss Brown would have driven her car willingly to that location and then it be found in the way it was found, meaning completely burned. Yes, that is suspicious, he says. And in my opinion, that would be someone trying to cover up something. Absolutely. Investigators interviewed Derek Brown and called him a person of interest, but he has never been charged in Hattie's disappearance. George says they're now relying on the public to help them solve this case. He says, I truly believe that there is an individual or individuals out there that have information that could be very beneficial to this case. I also believe that there may be individuals that know of someone that has information that could be very beneficial to this case, regardless of how small it may be or insignificant they may think it may be. VSP says this is still very much an active investigation. Once again, anyone with information is asked to call 540-444-7778. You may remain anonymous. And the family is offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. So that is the additional information on this Hattie's case. And let me get to your comments before it decides to kick me out again. Get down to where I was. Lots of comments popped up here. Hold on. Yep, going back to I think the previous yeah, I'm a car guy. If he loves his cars, he would not stand. Has my there anyone who drives it is over his dead body. Yep. And I believe, like I said, that was the case before. No. Let me find it. This one, I believe. Mr. Britt, I believe, is the one that you're. Oh, well. Let's see. I think somebody snuck in on me. Yeah, all over Virginia, like Casey's is in Arkansas. Are you talking about the Sheetz gas stations or convenience stores? Hey, Miss Barbara Hall. I'm with my you're fine. You're fine. Spend all the time with that family you can, ma'am. Good to have. Thank you for popping in. Thank you so much. You can always be replay crew. And yes, you always share. We appreciate that so much. Miss Paula says, I hope you guys don't mind, but it's time for me to go to bed. Getting picked up at 8:30. Absolutely. We're almost done here. I think that was the last case that I had. I just want to get caught up in comments and we'll get out of here. Oh, it's been well, it would have been not as long if it hadn't been for all the technical difficulties. But thank you, Miss Paula, for being here as always. Oh, get a look-see snuck in. Hello, get a look-see. Welcome, welcome. Always glad to have you here. Make sure nobody else snuck in. Yep. That's what I was laughing at earlier. Danny said my marshmallow was almost done. Sorry, I can throw it into another dumpster, or it might throw itself into another dumpster fire, so you can finish making some s'mores. You gotta make s'mores for everybody though. Art says that sounds good. I don't know what he's talking about. You talking about the marshmallows? Yes, absolutely. Danny says one of these nights I'm making s'mores. Yes, it is s'mores time. I don't know if y'all saw. Well, the members saw. I posted when I was at work today. Sitting in the parking lot waiting for orders across the street from the Wally World. There's a pasture, and they just cut the hay, and there's fresh hay bales out there. So I took a picture of it and posted it on I think a members only community post. Fall is getting here slowly but surely in Arkansas. Now, if the temperatures would just cooperate. Yes, that is a good question. Going back to, let me see if I can go back. Oh, watch out. I'm pushing buttons again. Hold on. There you go. Yes, the artist says, I want to know where Derek, the nephew, was when her brother went missing. Absolutely. I thought the same thing. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to dig into this a little bit more. See if I can find some more information. Besides this article, this one article that I found. I would definitely like to know that too, because if he's considered if the nephew Derek is considered a suspect in Miss Hattie's disappearance, then it would make sense to me that he could possibly be a suspect in his uncle's disappearance too. Absolutely, Arctic is amazing, as is Dave. Out on the Prowl is amazing too. All these awesome creators are amazing that come in, and I thank all you. And it's always so. I'm so humbled and so honored whenever other creators and friends come in to my lives and to support me and to chat. And I try to make it to as many of you guys' lives as I can, or if not, I always am on replay crew. But I thank you so much. I thank everybody, creators, the community, the family members, everybody that supports all of us. It's absolutely appreciated. Yes. Dandy says fresh hay. I miss that. Oh, I know. I remember when we were living on a farm, we had my grandparents raised crops and cattle, and whenever they would cut the pastures, cut the hay in the pastures in the fall, oh God, I loved it. We got to go out and play in the fresh hay, and then we got to play King in the Mountain on the hay bales. I loved it. Oh, that, and whenever in the before summer, when they have planting season, before they getting ready to plant the crops, and when they disc up the fields, oh gosh, going out there barefooted in that freshly tilled, freshly disked soil. Or when my grandpa did a garden, and when he tilled up the garden, we would go out there in our bare feet. Nothing feels better than fresh dirt between your toes. Or at least, if you're a country girl like me, or a country person, I love it. Yep. Miss Marion absolutely did. Lots of red flags. Absolutely, Miss Marion. Cloverfield. That's in Cloverfield cuts are the best. Dandy says. Yes, and I love to go, even though I can't do it anymore because apparently as I've gotten older, my allergies have kicked in worse. But oh, when I was younger, whenever whoever cut the grass, I love to go out and in the bare feet and walk in the freshly cut grass. Absolutely. Yep, get a look. See, says yes, fresh cut clover. I used to go out. We used to have a lot of clover that grew in our yards. When we were kids, we used to look for 4-leaf clover. All right, guys, that is all the cases I have for tonight. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock already. All right, guys. You got any questions, comments, last thoughts, anything else? I'll do a little bit of shameless plugging. You can find me on Facebook, Southern Gal True Crime. Have a group and a page. Please consider joining the group. That's where we share all the missing cold cases, any kind of cases, any kind of missing, anything true crime related is shared in the group. The page, I usually just share. I share some missing over there, but mostly links to true crime related news stories or any breaking news or anything in true crime. So please do check it out. And if anybody is on Facebook and wants to friend me on Facebook, because I've had a lot of people message my page and I don't always check those messages, but just put in Dawn SGTG, Southern Gal True Crime, but it's SGTG. And it'll come up. It's got the same profile pictures I use on here. So you can send me a friend request. And that way you can message me or get in touch with me through the group or whatever. Try to see what else we got. Yes, please hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you're watching. Thank you. Anybody watching replay, please leave a comment. Share everywhere you can. Sub if you haven't already. What else do we got? Donation links are in. I think I put them in the description box. They're also in the description of my page. Memberships are also available. And I think a big thanks to everybody who joined. Steve was gracious enough to come on with me the other night to talk about our genetic genealogy that we were talking about. And if you missed that, please do watch it. Mr. Steve is an amazing, smart, wonderful person. He had lots of good information. We were talking about the use of genetic genealogy by law enforcement to help find offenders in cold cases. Okay, I think that was all my shameless plugging. All right, get back to your comments. See where I was at here. That is awesome too. Miss Marion says she likes to dig her toes in the sand. Oh yeah. If I had sand anywhere around me, I would. I think I might buy me a sandbox and some sand from Wally World just so I can stick my toes in the sand, since I don't live anywhere near a beach, unfortunately. Which is not too awful far. I could go down to the Gulf Coast, go down to Mobile and out Mobile, or down in Louisiana way or somewhere. Absolutely, Miss Marion. Thank you so much too. Thank you, Mr. James. Oh, watch out. Punching stuff again. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for everything you do for everyone else. God bless you guys. God bless you too, Mr. James, Miss Marion, Miss Barbara, the whole family. I think I remember to put the link. If you haven't already, please sign the petition to reopen Timmy D's case. Anybody who might not know, Miss Barbara is Timmy's mother. Mr. James and Miss Marion are his aunt and uncle. They've been fighting for justice for Timmy. I'm trying to remember if I put I usually always include the link to the petition. And also, I think I did pin it to the top of the chat too. Please go sign Arctic Fox's petition to reform and standardize the Amber Alert system. I think that is pinned to the top of the chat. And I think I did put the link to Timmy's petition at the top of the chat too. Yes, Miss Marion says everybody stay safe. Absolutely. Thank you. Dandy says sleep sweet or have a great day wherever you are. Absolutely. Arctic says night, everyone. And once again, hopefully, if everything goes as planned, Arctic will be my co-host Wednesday night. We're going to be talking about the Melissa Witt case. Anybody who is interested, I'm sure Arctic's probably done videos or live streams in the past about Melissa. Please check his out. I do have a playlist for Melissa. Please check it out. That way you'll be kind of caught up on Melissa's. We'll have the basics of her case to give you Wednesday night. But if you want to catch up, thank you, Miss Barbara. Says good night, everyone. God bless. Stay safe out there. Absolutely. You too, Miss Barbara. Thank you, Miss Marion. And praying for everybody. Good night. Absolutely. Thank you, Far, for being here. She says, not everyone, stay safe, love and light all. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I'm going to try to, if I have time between work and to see if this hurricane is going to bring us any rain, or whatever if it zigs or zags, if we get anything from it. I'll try to get some short videos recorded for some missing. Like I said, unless something changes, me and Arctic will be on around 8 p.m. Central Time Wednesday for a live stream together. Looking forward to that. So until then, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. Until then, I lost my clip I was looking for. Until then, everybody, be careful out there. Stay safe. Take care of your fellow human beings. That's the most important thing we can do. And share all these missing persons to bring awareness to their cases. I love you guys, and we will see you Wednesday. Thanks, guys.